You know?
So you're the sound engineer basically for this whole thing.
Yeah. So I was just imagining that, you know. And when I wrote all this stuff, I had this horrible flu, and I was really super sick. And I thought, man, this thing might kill me. I better write this stuff now while I'm alive. And I recorded it while I was feeling not very good. But I put every bit of energy I had into it, and then I survived it, and I was okay. I didn't die, so I was like,
yeah, here you are.
Yeah, here I am.
Speaking of which,
much stronger.
What's your secret? Why are you so healthy? I've seen you do backflips, going on stairs, and doing all this stuff. Like you're doing cartwheels. And
yeah, no. And here's another thing. And by the way you play guitar the way you play guitar in the leads with your teeth, I'm sure your dentist loves you.
The secret. Here's the secret. Don't hire a roadie. Move your stuff yourself.
Because friends think you might have sold your soul to the devil or something.
Yeah,
kind of, like they got superpowers. Like,
I swear to God, I mean, I get a good workout on playing, but my real workout is in loading the gear in and out of the club and everything.
So you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, and the day I can't do that, then I'll go like, okay, I'm losing it. But I feel like, you know, I gotta get my heart going every time. You know. And another reason is I don't eat before the show.
Ladies,
so that I feel that like probably when you're hungry. Yeah, when you're hungry, you feel like killing something.
Yeah, it's like they say when you play football, you don't get laid before the game because it brings
you crush it.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're maintaining the machine. You're maintaining the machine.
Yeah.
All right, George, and check it out, Randy. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give everyone a taste of Fun Town. We will be back, and we'll talk about.
You gotta play Save America.
That's up next, Randy. I already had it on the playlist.
All right.
Because I know that's your tune that's influenced by Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
See, I know a little more than you think.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go, baby. Fun Town with Randy Hansen. Crank it.
I don't really know. You know, I just know that we were there.
Yeah, every hotel looks the same.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Except for now they got these plastic cards that they give you, you know, that you just wave in front of the door to get in and stuff.
You mean instead of a key and all that?
Yeah, but I keep them all because I have this thing called a pick punch, and I can make guitar picks out of them.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So.
What, do you just file them down?
No, it's actually, I'm using one right here. This is out of my hotel room.
All right, thanks, man. No. Actually, it looks like a credit card.
Yeah.
I thought that pig looked different.
Right?
Well,
some of her gear.
That's why. It's funny because it has the back of a little city on the back of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put a little artwork on there.
Wow. So I guess, you know...
These are for sale, by the way.
I need to reap my rewards from all the traveling. So, Randy, I there's so much to talk about. I don't really know where to start, so I'm just going to start with this. Your manager, superstar manager, Kevin Philo, handed me a single that you made last year, which was a Christmas single called Ho. Rudolph the Red-Nosed War Pig. And you kind of rehearsed that here in front of me. I had to hear it because I couldn't understand the concept.
I just noticed that the lyrics to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer fit over war pigs. And so I don't want to give too much of it away. You can try to figure that out yourself. But,
yeah.
But, yeah. And then, you know, I played it one night with Bob Rivers at the Paramount, you know, and during a twisted Christmas thing that he was doing there. And so I pulled it on the crowd there. And they seem to like it a lot. And it's, you know, it's a Christmas song, so, and I thought, Black Sabbath, Christmas, you know, it's like a Black Sabbath Christmas.
And it fits.
Yeah, and it fits really well. It tripped me out that it actually fit. And I don't know what made me think of it, but one day I just started singing it. I did it as a joke for my family. I recorded it on a little acoustic guitar and sang it and gave it to everybody for Christmas in my family, and that's how that got started. But you know, I just like to make. I used to be in a comedy band, so.
Really?
Yeah, I used to.
So tied up in yesterdays. Big strong man, about town man, coughs at the sight of you, paralyzes his other you. He deals you that thing you understand. Wingtip knows and a coat knows that. Spiral vulture, there he goes. He's got no blood, just antifreeze. And his story made to please. It's a fairytale hoax, I guess he owns the Holy Grail. I've seen his kind kiss a devil's tail. I'm still love a smarter. Take care, all you Satan's laughter.
So Randy, on one side is ho, on the other side is ho ho. So what's on the B side?
What doesn't it say the name of it?
I don't know. Here, you tell me.
If you put,
I need my readers.
Yeah, who's
the
my
other
side?
side is a song that I wrote myself,
Okay.
and it's called "That's What You Do to Me."
Oh, okay. Right. Okay, and then this has.
And I talked to the drummer for Sly and the Family Stone about this because I told him I put your song on through the headphones and then I played drums to it. And then I had this drum track, so then I wrote this song around the drum track that I played listening to his drum track. And I got to tell him that because I met him and I was saying I just wrote this song. And I was going to send it to him, but I didn't know where to send it to. He goes, yeah, send that to me. And I go, okay.
To where? Where's that?
Yeah, and I didn't know where to send it.
What time frame was this before internet? Obviously.
Oh, this is quite a while ago. I was at a place called the Bohemian Grove, which is,
In San Francisco?
yeah. You've
Yeah,
heard of the
in Marin.
Bohemian- You've heard of the Bohemian, it's in the by the Russian River.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from San Francisco.
You're not supposed to, it's a place that is real
It's
controversial.
right. Well, Alex Jones was there,
I
and
met-
Nicole, you know a little bit about the Bohemian
really?
Grove.
You know about the,
Yeah, you know, she knows about that. That's
Yeah,
where all the
yeah, he
the
snuck
elites
in,
meet.
and he got in. He didn't get any trouble, but he snuck in there and exposed all the
Right.
people around in front of the owl and everything.
Yes.
I've been
Cremation
inside
of
that
her, yeah.
owl. That
Wow.
owl has an inside. It's hollow. There's there's a PA system in there, and there's a little taping system. There's a fax machine. There's every communication you can imagine is in there. You know, like walkie-talkies. There's this PA system. When you hear that guy go, "Fools, fools," like that, he's saying, you know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
and everything. That's a guy inside the owl with a microphone, and I know I met that guy.
So who's the man behind the curtain that's doing that?
Not just some guy.
Not
You
just
know,
some
well,
guy. You got to
well,
be
what-
elite.
You know, he's an elite guy,
Yeah.
but I don't know
a
exactly
secret
I
society.
don't know what he does in his private life. But the people that I shacked up with in this, everybody's in a military tent, right?
Oh yeah.
The people that I was with was my manager Kevin, and then we were with the paleontologist who found Lucy's bones,
Oh wow.
and then also the president of the Bank of America, and that was the four of us.
Jeez.
You know, so it was really unusual. And I'm talking to the guy, the president of Bank of America, and this paleontologist, and paleontologist is telling me, you know, he goes, I love going to universities and giving talks about Lucy. He's telling me, and he goes, but it's not for a reason you think. He goes, when you go to the universities and you give these talks, they're in this really steep place, right? And it's really steep theater, and there's all these young girls with short skirts.
That's how we
And he
like
goes,
them.
the longer I talk, the more I get to just sit there and look up girls' skirts. And everything, and I'm going like, that's why you like to do that?
Why not?
And I go, well, this seems like a weird usage for, you know, the first human on Earth, you know, or something, you know,
Yeah.
just because he knows about Lucy. So that was a little strange. And then
So you were
the
hanging
president
out
of Bank
there,
of
or-
America, he had like, this is before it was legal, he had weed growing in his backyard and everything, and he looked more like Ike Eisenhower, you know. If Eisenhower grew weed in his backyard.
That's like your
That's what it
grandpa.
looked like, you know.
Grandpa.
And these are the people I'm hanging out with there,
Yeah.
you know. And then I met Steve Miller there, and the Smothers Brothers, and
Steve
and
Miller
all
Band?
these people from the Grateful Dead. And I already knew
What?
Mickey Hart because we worked
Oh,
on Apocalypse.
Jefferson Starship.
We worked on
Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we worked on Apocalypse Now together. So that's how I knew Mickey Hart.
Oh my goodness.
And everything. So that
That's
was.
crazy.
Right.
Yeah, but
You're not a
it was
Freemason,
really
are you?
weird. No. I only got invited because it was an anniversary of Monterey, and then the next time I played there was the anniversary of Woodstock.
Yeah.
And the anniversary of Woodstock, you know, an old friend of mine was there, Joe Satriani,
Mm-hmm.
and all the old
San
people
Francisco
there,
legend.
the old people that belong, they had no idea who he was, you know. And I'm going, you don't know who Joe Satriani is? Wow. You know, it's kind of tripping me out. And he's explaining to these old people who he is, which is really strange, you know, to hear him describe what he does for a living, you know, to these really older cats. And they got kind of upset at me because they hired me to commemorate this thing, and they wanted me to smash a guitar, burn it and smash a guitar.
In
So
celebration of the Monterey
Yeah,
Festival.
so I did Wild Thing, and I burned and smashed this guitar.
Yeah.
After I got done, these two old guys that look like the Muppets old guys up in the balcony, and they came back to the dressing room, and they wanted to know if I was angry. You know, first they looked at me, and they go, "Do you like it here at the Grove?" And I said, "Yeah, I love it here, it's great." And they kind of looked at each other and nodded, and then just turned around and looked at me, and then they turned around and left. And they were arm in arm when they walked in, these really old guys. And I was going like, they wanted to know if I was like not digging them or something. And that's why nobody explained to them that I was going to smash this guitar and burn it. And they thought I got, just like my girlfriend when she'd never heard of that either. And when I first did that, I walked off stage and I was smiling. She goes, "Are you all right?" You know, she thought I had lost my mind.
Because you burned the guitar?
Like, no, that was cool.
Well, it looks kind of wild while you're smashing.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
looked like you're angry, you know, and she thought I was real angry when I came out. You know, a lot of people misconstrue what's going on in your head when you do something like that.
Sure.
That was totally badass. That was cool.
Who else used to smash the guitars back in the day? Was it Pete Townsend, or who used to do that all the time?
Oh God, Pete Townsend.
That's what I thought.
The Move is who Jimmy saw that made him want to smash and burn his guitar. if you watch an early thing of the Move, I forget what song they're doing, but they're in a club and they're burning, I think, a TV set, and the guy pulls out an axe and starts smashing the TV set with it and everything, and he just beats it into like a little piece of metal and pieces of wood. And that was the first band that Jimmy saw when he got to England. And I thought, well, that makes sense as to what he ended up doing, you know?
Yeah. Hey, Randy, one thing I wanted to talk about on this single, Ho. Ho Ho.
I think it must be Ho Ho because of...
Is it not? Ho is side one, and then Ho Ho is side two.
Oh, I guess.
So it's Ho, Ho Ho.
But I think it probably says the name of the song, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Warpig, and then...
Yeah, it does.
And then, okay.
It does say that.
You're worrying me there.
No, it's yeah, I just need to wear my reading... Here, let me put my reading glasses on so I can see what the hell I'm talking about here.
And That's What You Do to Me,
That's What You Do to Me is, on side Ho Ho.
For my girlfriend.
Yeah, it says, all of our love and blessings from everyone at Pig goes out to our dearest friend and partner in crime, Gianni Santil. Yeah. And one thing about this single, it comes in vinyl, and it comes with... In vinyl, and it comes with crayons.
Yeah, because when you take the sleeve out, it turns into a coloring book, sort of.
Right here,
and
for the camera.
And we were going to have our coloring contest.
Okay.
We're going to talk about current events and events that Randy Hansen is going to be playing. And we're going to start with Saturday, November 26th at 9 p.m. at the Carco Theater in Renton, Washington. 1717 Maple Valley Highway. Randy, you're going to be playing a killer show there. Can you tell us what that's about?
It's the Tina show. Oh, this is this is for Tina Hendricks.
That's the Tina Hendricks show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's Maple Valley Highway. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Jimmy's
She's
80th birthday.
doing a thing.
Jimmy's 80th birthday.
Yeah.
It's the
And
day before,
you
but
know,
it's
we do a lot of things with the family of Jimmy's and everything, and so yeah, we did it one other time there. It's a really great place. It's set up really nice, big stage and everything, and it's a nice theater.
Yeah, that's going to be a killer show.
Yeah.
For everyone here in Seattle, Washington area, we are going to be so blessed with Randy because he's going to be playing several times here in the next month. and that's going to be a very special show. Our engineer George Clausen, you're going to be. Oh, quit smoking weed over there! Fire! You got me on smoking weed. February 2nd, on the Blue Cruise. Randy, you're going to be kicking off the cruise, opening up there. And can you explain to everybody what the Blues Cruise is?
Well, it started out as the Moody Blues Cruise.
Right.
And, you know, they lost their drummer. He died like last year, Graham Edge. And he was the only guy that I really got to know on the cruise, you know, because we kept on going on it and everything. And I don't know, I guess he really liked me and everything. He kept inviting me to his parties that he had on the boat and everything. He was really a cool guy. And there was all these other bands and everything, but we get to do the sail away cruise, which is as soon as the thing leaves the dock, then we start playing and everything. And it was the Moody Blues doing that before, but then now their band is kind of disbanded, and there's still some people left from the Moody Blues that are still performing on it. But they just now they just call it the Blues Cruise.
On the Blue Cruise.
On the Blues Cruise.
On the
bluecruise.com.
Where does that board? Where do you board after that?
We're board in Miami.
Yeah, that was him right there.
No, I mean, was that here in Washington?
Oh, no, that was recorded at a place called the Automat in San Francisco.
Get out!
Yeah.
Where was that? What area was that?
It was the same studio that Journey did all their recording. In fact, they recorded a song called Any Way You Want It, That's the Way You Need It, Any Way You Want It. And it sounds amazingly like a song of mine called Time Won't Stop. My song goes like does that sound like it? Kind of. Anyway, they went.
Oh yeah, any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want it. Yeah, it does. It fits right in there.
Mine went.
Time won't stop. Time won't stop.
Yeah.
They were right across the hall from me when I recorded that.
Wow, man. You know,
They were directly across the hall, and my song came out first.
well, good. Now you have claiming rights to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my hit
I
$1 million
always-
single.
I always wanted to talk to Neil Schoen about that, but he won't talk.
You owe me some money, dude.
He's on Twitter.
Right? No, he's on
He
Instagram.
lives on Twitter.
He's on Instagram.
He's
Oh,
in
yeah?
the middle of suing Michael Caine to get his own royalties.
I don't know. I'm not like a sue. I would never sue anybody in this business for any reason, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know. But if he felt like, you know, handed me a little bit of money for this,
Yeah, you wouldn't
for
turn it
that
down.
song, I wouldn't turn it down and go like, yeah, thanks.
Right?
You know,
yeah,
thanks
that's
for
a
thinking
good,
of me.
that's a
Better
good
yet,
little
Not like it would ever happen.
Better yet, let's do a Through the Walls song recording thing, right?
Right.
The walls that we
Sure.
listen through.
I got a couple more if you want.
Exactly.
Through the Walls.
Well, when Journey plays a song, it turns into millions of dollars.
But they were at my wedding, you know, when I recorded my
Really?
song "Time Won't Stop." Yeah, Journey was right across the hall, and they threw popcorn at me and my wife.
Get out of here, really?
Because
Nice.
nobody had any rice. You know?
Yeah, so popcorn's good.
Yeah, and they were using the boxes that the reels came in. They just filled those up with popcorn. And everybody threw popcorn.
How nice, man. I got a story of Journey. I used to be a truck driver for a bumper shop in Redwood City, California.
Oh.
And one of my stops was in my route was through Oakland. And I was driving by, I can't remember the street now, but it was near the Oakland Stadium. And when I dropped off my car bumpers and truck bumpers, I could hear, you know, Journey playing from afar. And I was like, what the hell? So I walked like half a block down the street, and in this huge warehouse, I walk in, and there was Journey just jamming in a huge warehouse. And I'm
you
a
just
huge
happened
Journey
to,
fan.
And you happened to be there.
Yeah, and I just happened to be there.
That's
Well,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, I lived there at the time, but yeah.
Still, what are the chances, you know?
That's what I mean. I had a really gifted life. Not as gifted as yours.
You were being guided.
I was guided, exactly. Through the god of rock and roll.
That's right.
The metal gods.
He cares about things like that.
Yes, and he steers us right. Randy, you know, I wanted to take this this break, or this segment rather, to talk about your latest LP, which is Funtown. All right? This is, I think, is it 14 tracks? Or let me see how many are here. 15 tracks. And, you know, a lot of these songs, or each of these songs, were done in the influence of guitarists that you found were that influenced you to play. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah, each song has got probably an influence by some other guitar player, like Joe Walsh or Ritchie Blackmore or John McLaughlin, and you know, all the people that were then, Jeff Beck. You'd think people that were back then, you know, they all influenced me, and I've always thought, you know, well, Hendrix was kind of influenced a lot by all the guitar players that were around him then, you know, and it made him go further and everything, and there was a lot of guitar players that he didn't get a chance to really hear what they developed into, you know, because he died, and I thought, well, I would carry on that tradition of being influenced by other guitar players, not just Jimmy, you know. I liked everybody's take on this puzzle, you know, of the guitar, you know, which is unsolvable. So everybody has their own slant on it, and then things that I do my own way too, things that I've taught myself, I guess, you know, and everything. Because I have my own thing too, you know, which is influenced by a lot of people and everything, and they're kind of melted all together into one thing, and I never know exactly what I'm being influenced by when I write my own stuff, but a lot of times I do, though. There's other things that I've directly, not ripped off, but taken an idea of someone else's and then do something else that's kind of like it, but not exactly like it, you know. It's like usually a genre or something will hit me, like a Zeppelin tune or something like that, the way they write different little riffs.
I always loved The Song Remains the Same.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful song by Jimmy Page, man.
Like I have a song called The Loner that just, you know, Zeppelin has...
Yeah,
you know,
immigrant song.
So I wrote this song called The Loner. It's about Lane Staley, and mine goes like... that I chose, you know, for this thing, and it's kind of influenced, but you would never guess that that's what I was trying for, you know. It's just in the same key. It's a totally different feel, but I used a 3/4 feel over a 4/4 feel together, so they would weave in and out like this, you know.
Yeah.
So many combinations.
Yeah, and then write about how Lane was this loner. That's why it's called The Loner. When I met him, I noticed that he kind of hung by himself, you know, and he didn't really hang with the band that much.
Did you know Lane Staley at all? Or?
I knew the whole band because they used to call me up and ask me to mix sound for them.
Yeah.
And so I would go. They said at the time I was kind of popular in Seattle, and they said if we told people you were coming, there might be more people at our show. And I said, okay. So I was flattered, you know, that they would say something.
That is pretty cool.
But they were just kids then. And then I got back in town once, and I went to visit them to buy some weed from them.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, we got a new album. We got a new album out and everything. We got signed. And I go, oh, really? You got signed? Great. And you go, you want to hear our album? And they pulled out this reel-to-reel and played me their first album. And my jaw dropped. I was like, you guys, man, I don't know, you found something.
They had a great sound.
That first album is killer.
Now,
every album since, too. Every album they
the
put
first
out,
two albums were incredible.
Hot.
Nicole, you were a huge Alice in Chains fan.
Well, yeah, everyone in my generation in Seattle, the grunge scene, yeah, that was like the big deal. I mean, around my friends, bigger than Nirvana, to be honest, you know? Like,
Alice in Chains was more popular than Nirvana
Around
in
my
Seattle.
friends.
People showed
Yeah.
up to
For
my
sure.
shows in
Yeah.
Europe because they put Seattle on the poster.
Yeah.
Because I am from Seattle, but
Yeah.
it was right during the grunge thing. All these grunge people like, oh, I want to go see this, you know. And,
Because we had a
and
cool
so
scene,
it really,
man.
all my shows filled up because of the grunge movement in Seattle.
Nice, man. Although you didn't have the grunge sound, but you were
I had
there.
the original grunge sound, which was Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, because every guitar player in a grunge band owns pretty much everything. All those guys are just great Hendrix guys. But they mix their leads down in that music.
Yeah, it's
You can
true.
they didn't pronounce the leads in grunge. It wasn't like the centerpiece of the music.
Right.
And that kind of disappointed me, but those guys were all great Hendrix influenced guitar players.
It's one thing I notice about rock in general is like I met so many people in the business and everything. I don't like to name a bunch of names, but they all. I noticed that every one of them had this homage to Jimi Hendrix. That like they just felt like this guy is like the Pope or something. You know? Or the
Well,
Marilyn Monroe.
even I loved him too when I was growing up. I mean, like, you know, I had that poster you were talking about earlier where he was in Monterey lighting his guitar on fire. I mean, I used to watch that at the midnight matinee
Yeah.
in Belmont, California. We used to pay like $2, and we'd get high, and then we'd go check them out, and we would be like, "Who are these people? These are so cool," you know.
He's like the king of the hippies.
Yeah, right. So, geez, what else was I going to ask you? Randy, I think we should go ahead and give everyone a taste of what Funtown is all about. Is there anything you want to say about the recording of the album, who
think
produced it, and all
Well,
that?
I did all of it my own self. You know, I didn't. There's only one track on there where my son plays drums on it. It's called "The Pain."
Oh,
Everything else, I played all the instruments and recorded everything because I'm a selfish bastard.
all right. So track 13 was "The Pain" with your son,
Yeah.
and you played all the guitars and drums on everything else.
Yes.
Really?
And I did all the artwork.
There we go. There's the tickets. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just put the list of songs on the tickets. And then drew a picture for each ticket, like if you went to Funtown and you had to pull off a ticket to go on that ride, you know.
Like the
Sure.
Willy Wonka factory.
Yeah. And Funtown was supposedly the planet Earth, and it's whatever we have done on the planet Earth or could imagine doing on the planet Earth, you can do at Funtown. Like if you want to explode a H-bomb or you want to jump out of an airplane into a gigantic feather pillow or something without a parachute, you know, whatever you could imagine, you could do at Funtown.
Yeah.
And that's, but I say in it, you just have to phone ahead so that we know how to.
Or radio network. Yeah, I'm getting buzzed.
I'm
No,
running.
not you.
You know, I'm running for mayor of Funtown right now.
All right, I'll vote for that.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I think I'll buy my tickets right now.
That sounds fun.
I got my tickets on Funtown. Here we go. All right, so we have one of our guests here from our live audience, Wade Wonder, who has a story that he would love to tell about his experience with Randy Hansen. Please go ahead and share that story, Wade.
Yeah, Billy. So, yeah, I don't know. I met Randy decades ago. We used to play in my very first band, actually, down at what was called Rainbow Valley down south of Olympia. And they did festivals like 4 times a year. And they were a big deal. It was like an all-weekend deal. And Randy Hansen was like one of the headliners down there. And we're like, holy crap, we get to play with Randy and everything. And, of course, we didn't do any weed. We didn't do any beer. We didn't do any mushrooms or anything down there, I promise. But somehow, anyways, Randy lost his shoes.
What?
Yeah. It was
Someone stole your shoes? Someone stole your kicks?
I don't know
Yeah, I
if
don't
someone
know.
stole them or if you just lost
I
them.
think what the deal was is that I didn't bring the appropriate shoes to wear, you know, and I couldn't wear like, you know, Converse tennis shoes because he didn't never see Jimi Hendrix wearing Converse tennis shoes. Something like that probably happened, and so was electing to go on my bare feet, probably. And
There was a lot of bare feet people there. There was a lot
Yeah.
of
Randy didn't play
lot
in
of
bare
good
feet. He
old
played in
English.
boots.
Yeah.
but
He
then
had those
they
killer
made me
boots.
These sandals.
My bass player, yeah.
Yeah.
He made Randy some sandals out of like some carpet samples and like some hemp rope from one of the vendors or something there. And Randy wore those the whole weekend, I believe. He wore
Really?
them
The
on
whole
stage.
weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was a mud fest down there. I mean, it's
Yeah,
muddy.
and I'm wearing them right now.
Still wearing them.
Wow, those clean up well.
Yeah, well,
The magic of radio.
Well, we kind of covered them in black Swarovski crystal.
Yeah.
I can't even say it. Black. That's a tongue twister. Black Swarovski crystals.
But no, yeah, that was good times back then. The old Rainbow Valley, I know you remember those.
What year was that, Wade?
Back in like the 90s, late 80s, early mid 90s. Yeah. And,
That's so
unfortunately,
crazy.
that whole thing fell apart. Yeah, I mean, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything, all things must pass. Like I ran across a lady that seemed to be freezing to death last year, and so I found her a shelter. And everything. I was out there on my bike, and something told me to go away from the Seahawks game and just head home. And that's when I ran across this lady, and she really was freezing to death. And so I couldn't
It's
find
really
her. First,
cold
I
there.
tried all these churches, with her. But I went home and got her some clothing and blankets and stuff, and tried to get her warmed up. And then I found a 24-hour homeless shelter, and then got her put there. So she
Excellent.
so she would not freeze to death, because it just it really made me sad to see this. She was rocking back and forth, and just I could tell she was in
Just trying to get through the night.
physical pain.
It was just like you said, you got to move through the night to keep
Yeah.
warm, and then you rest during the day because the sun will somewhat keep you warm. But in the
And
winter
regardless
months,
if they're addicts
you know.
or whatever reason landed them there, it's like
Yeah.
give them a chance to make it back somehow, or
give them a shot.
Yeah, give them a shot at it.
Absolutely.
Don't just let them go. And everybody has the right to some dignity.
Yes, I
Even
absolutely
the
believe that.
worst of the worst, or the best of the best.
Yeah,
we're all
I
the
totally
same.
believe in that, man.
We're all brothers and sisters, right?
Exactly. We're gonna play our last single from Funtown, which is a "Save America," which Randy just discussed what that was about. Randy, do you have any last words that you want to say to all the listeners here,
Well, yeah, this
listening
song,
around the world?
This song I wrote with Eddie Van Halen in mind.
Yes, and it does sound like that too. It totally has the Eddie Van Halen
I tried to make
influence.
kind of a Van Halen type song.
Yeah, and it came through, man. Kevin Philo, is there any last words you have to say before we go live to the live show? Thank you. Okay, well, thank you too, sir.
Billy Bolt. Thanks
Yeah.
to Paul for the fantastic dinner.
You're welcome.
And thanks for having us always, man. You're the coolest radio show.
All right.
There's
I'll
nothing
second that.
uptight here.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
here we go. We're gonna play some Randy Hansen "Save America." We're gonna smoke some weed. We're gonna drink some beer, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna hear Randy Hansen live. Yeah!
Yeah!
Thank you. with dollar purple armor, Queen jealousy and beer waist behind him. Her fiery green gown sneers at the grassy ground. Blue all the life-giving water, take it for granted, they quietly understand. Once every turquoise armies lay opposite ready, and when the weather fight me song. There's love. Yes, they're all bold as love. Really talking to you. Bold as love. Just as the axis. Strong as the war, and rivers of euphoria. He is young, full of daring, but very unsteady from the first go round. Well, in his case, it's not so mellow. In fact, I'm trying to say it's fighting like me. And all these emotions of mine keep holding me from giving my life to a rainbow like you. The access, you know, it's everything. Yeah, yeah, Well, I'm waiting at the train station, waiting for that train. Take me away from this lonesome place. Just put me in my soul. Thank